Mercedes Sports took him to a double victory, and he leads the table on 53 points from the Solaris Lumina pairing of Domenico Scattarella on 34 points and Francesco Cini on 33, with the Audi of Tom Koska on 30 points. But Cheever and Scattarella are not here this weekend on a track which is said to favour the more nimble BMWs and Audis, and the points table will be very different after this weekend. There's a lot of other things going on as well. We've got the Sunoco Challenge, and the Sunoco Challenge involves quite a few different series. Drivers competing in the Brit Car Endurance Championship, Class 1, 2 and 3, our own very own Euro V8 series, a Radical SR3 Challenge and a Radical Masters Euro series, SR3 and SR8 as separate classes. They're all going for this Sunoco Challenge because the prize for this is flights, accommodation and transport costs to the US, a dedicated Sunoco Wellen Challenge race suit, and the chance to step up on top of the podium and bring home the much coveted Rolex Daytona watch at the Rolex 24 at Daytona. And so a lot of drivers are in for that one as well. Strange sort of scoring system, which I'm not going to go through because it involves all the points you get plus divided by how many races you've done, how many cars are in the series, etc. So that's extra things that a lot of people are going out for today. Balance of performance, well, that's changed as well, because last year we had a balance of performance change every couple of races. Here there's a balance of performance change every race, with the Teams Association getting involved in that as well, so that when you look at the cars, you've got a 6.2 litre Mercedes on the track, but you've only got a 4 litre Audi. And the Audis are heavier, by the way, but the Audis, remember, are four-wheel drive, and this track really does favour the Audis and the quick and nimble and very well developed BMWs. And they've had a look at the balance of performance. They've changed all that for this round. And on top of that, when you change balance of performance rules, everything changes in the car, so you've got to do a lot of work on it. And on top of that, there is the handicaps from your victories or wins or podiums in the first round. Now, Eddie Cheever had a 60 kilogram handicap, but it's not here, so that doesn't matter. Domenico Scattarella, he's not here, he had a 20 kilogram handicap. But Francesco Cini and Nicola Baldan, Cini in the Lumina, there he is, sorry, not Lumina, the Camaro, Chevrolet Camaro, he's carrying an extra 20 kilograms of handicap weight. Nicola Baldan in the Roma Racing Mercedes is also carrying an extra 20 kilograms. Apart from that, the balance of performance has taken away a little bit of weight from the Chevrolet. I'm just looking down the thing here, the Lumina, that's lost 30 kilograms of weight, but it doesn't matter, it's not here. The ones that we're looking at, the Audi RS5, they've been cut their intake by 6 millimeters, down to a 79 millimeter intake. Sorry, I'm just looking down a whole mass of figures here. Their weight has been upped by 20 kilograms, so instead of being not only the heaviest car on the grid, they're even heavier now, 1,540 kilograms instead of 1,520. And their ride height has been increased by 15 millimeters. So from 75 millimeters off the ground to 90 millimeters off the ground they are now. The Chevrolet Camaro has been dropped by 10 millimeters from 60 to 50, and 20 kilos taken off their weight, but it doesn't really matter because they're back to the same weight with the handicap 20 kilos that they've been added. So balance of performance all coming into effect here as well at Vallelunga. So we've gone through that. Let's have a look at the points table. And the points, well, as I said, Eddie Cheever's leading the points table with Domenico Scattarella behind him. Then Francesco Cini. Now, Francesco Cini's been testing here, and he's done some vast improvements on the car over the past year. And that car is getting very, very quick. It's really starting to handle well. And he really did expect to do very well in qualifying. We'll go through qualifying in just a little while, but he's in third place on 33 points, just 1 point behind his teammate in the Lumina, who's not here, I'll remind you. Tom Koska now. This will be a favoured track for Tom because he's in the Audi, the four-wheel drive Audi. He's on 30 points at the moment with Max Mugelli in the BMW and the fastest of the BMWs, 6 points behind him in the points table. Then comes Nicola Baldan on 21 in the Roma Racing, the bright yellow. He's now in the bright yellow Mercedes. And there's a new car on the grid, another Audi from Emano Dionisio. Now, he's a former race winner way back in the day. Don't know whether he's going to figure in this race, because he's had some problems in qualifying, in free practice and qualifying, had electrical problems, wasn't able to get out for one of the sessions, and was only able to get out for 6 laps in qualifying, so was able to qualify. There's Nicola Baldan in the bright yellow Roma Racing Mercedes, and right next to him, Capetti. And Maurizio Capetti is behind Baldan and Stankeris in the points table on 18 points. But he's in a favoured BMW for this track, so let's see what they can do. Having a look at first practice, Thomas Koska headed first practice, but the first practice was done on wet and changeable conditions. Started out wet, everybody was going out on rain tyres, but by the end of the session, a lot of tyres were shredded, so we didn't see any seriously quick times out there. Tom Koska only did a 1:46.5, but saying that, it was Emano Dionisio in the Audi who was right behind him, and Emano Dionisio wasn't doing too badly at all, but a lot of shredded tyres in that first session. Second session, it was Francesco Cini who headed the table from Thomas Koska and Max Mugelli, and Davide Stankeris, who's doing very, very well and still needs to figure out the car. He still says that, you know, we're told in the Audi that coming out of a corner, just tramp on the pedal, it will turn. But he said he's used to GT cars, and the GT cars slide sideways when you do that. And he said he still hasn't quite got his head around it. So let's see if he can do it for this race. Tom Koska in qualifying on pole position, and 5.5 of a second. He put in one blinding lap, but ahead of Davide Stankeris, who I said was starting to come to grips with that Audi. So it's Audis 1 and 2 on the front row of the grid. Then Max Mugelli, as I said, the fastest of the BMWs. Next to him, behind him on the second row, alongside Francesco Cini, who tried his damnedest to go fast and take pole away from Tom Koska. Nearly managed it, just nearly managed it, just ran out of laps at the end of the day. Then it's Nicola Baldan, Capetti, Diego Romagnini, and Mercatali. And on the fifth row of the grid, Emano Dionisio, as I said, only out, there it is, the green and silver Audi, just going through your picture. And was only able to go out for a few laps, wasn't able to go as fast as he would really, really like. So one of the Audis, 3 Audis in the race. And behind him, Baccarelli in the Car Racing Mercedes. Then Francesco Ascani back as a gentleman driver and fighting for the Gentleman's Championship. And our first ever champion way back in 2004 was Francesco Ascani. Then Giovanni Lavaggi in the MRT by Nocentini Lexus. And that Lexus, it's starting to run, but it's just not quick enough at the moment. They've got a lot to do. And Lavaggi said, well, it's not fast enough, and the handling is all over the place. So although it's one of the loudest cars out there, that Lexus ISF 500, it's still at the back row of the grid, and alongside Domiziano Giacon. And Domiziano Giacon here with his family, because his sons, Jonathan and Kevin, are also competing in other races out here. So I've given you the points, balance of performance, the handicaps. I've given you qualifying. It's a 25-minute lap, 25-minute race plus 1 lap, and you get a point for pole position. So Tom Koska has already scored on this. He's got a point for pole. You get a point for the fastest lap and a starting bonus. If you start the race, you get a point. So nobody goes away empty-handed. And 24 points for the win, plus 3. 27 points for all of them, the pole, fastest lap, and your start bonus. So you can walk away from one race with 27 points. This is Francesco Cini, number 12 Chevrolet Camaro, on the infield of this track. It's a tight little track in places, but coming out of the Roma curve, final curve for the start and finish line, it's a long curving, if you could have a curving straight, down to Curvone. And if you come off of Curvone, you're coming off extremely fast indeed, and you become a member of the Curvone Club. Then down to Chimney, which is a banked left-hander, up through Chimney, all the way to the new part of the circuit, which goes up to Campagnano. and it's a left-hander, and then down into the Cerate curve, which is a, let's get it right, and it's a right-hander Campagnano. I'm just thinking about the driving at the moment. There's Cerate, and then into the infield section. Great place to view is Vallelunga. Under the pace car, and it's those two Audis out in front. The one with the red stripe just around the radiator, that's Tom Koska. And they're just coming out of Roma. Pace car will have pulled in already. Tom Koska will be leading this one out. Davide Stankeris right next to him in the rather plainer Audi. He's on the outside as you're looking at it. On the inside row is Tom Koska. Behind them, of course, it's Max Mugelli and Francesco Cini. Waiting for the lights to go. Lights have gone. Tom Koska's gone already. David Stankeris has gone with him. Francesco Cini's been left. And I think that's Mauricio Capetti coming up the inside of him. Now, that's unusual. Because, oh, no, not already. Already we've got two cars off. Stankeris has gone off, and the number 5, Max Mugelli. That is terrible news for Max Mugelli. David Stankeris and Max Mugelli coming together, and that was, again, as I said, that's Curvone. They're members of the Curvone club now. There we have it again. David Stankeris just going into the side of Max Mugelli, and Max having a big rollover. Double rollover for Max. I hope he's okay, but he cut across in front of Davide Stankeris and pushed them both out. Davide's okay, just hoping that Max Mugelli is fine from that. And, well, it's Tom Koska out in front with Francesco Cini right behind him. And then, well, we're looking at number 54 now, Diego Romagnini. And looks like the safety car is out. No overtaking under safety car. Everybody has to maintain their position. So a terrible little accident right at the start of Max Mugelli, who was desperate, absolutely desperate to score maximum points here out at Curvone. And that is absolutely terrible news. Hope he's okay. It's a big rollover. Nicola Mercatali, number 4. Manages to come up from the 4th row of the grid into 3rd place. And behind him, that is Nicola Baldan. Well, they always say it's spectacular when you're watching these V8s, the Euro V8s as they are now. Used to be superstars, and next year will be something totally different and a lot larger, I can assure you of that. Can't give you any news, more news than that at the moment. We'll see what happens further on throughout the season. But this is basically a holding year for the Euro V8s. And a lot of people, particularly in this year, staying in the championship so they can have a head start when the big one starts going in 2015. Keeping the tyres warm as they come round, still under safety car. Not getting a look at Max Mugelli and Davide Stankeris. I think Stankeris is fine, but Max Mugelli with a double rollover at Curvone, and it's very, very quick. The one place that the fastest part of the track where you don't want to crash is Curvone. As I said, it's you come off there and you immediately are inducted into the Curvone club as the remnants, I say, of the BMW Team Dynamic car are dragged away. Time to have a look at all the cars while the work is going on to take everybody away. Look at that. That's some serious damage on Max's car. Haven't seen Max just yet. There's Francesco Ascani, as I remind you, the first ever winner, championship winner in 2004. They'll be racing for the Gentlemen's Championship. I did tell you that Eddie Cheever leads the championship, the overall standings at the moment, but there are other championships going on. There's the Rookies Drivers' Championship, and Eddie Cheever, seeing as he's only 20 years old, he leads that one as well. There's for drivers under 25. Gentlemen drivers being led by Leonardo Baccarelli at the moment. Hans Hartmann there as well, but Hans Hartmann from Hartmann Racing was in at Monza, but he's not here. He's bought the car, taking it up to Scandinavia to race in the Scandinavian Touring Car Championship. And Giovanni Lavaggi third in that championship will expect some big change here. This is what happened. Squeezed a little bit. Tom Koska came across. Max Magelli tried to avoid him and tagged the front of Davide Stankeris' car, and that was enough to turn the car sideways. And once you get into the sand there, well, it was a double rollover, and I do hope that Max is okay. Team standings at the moment. Roma Racing, you see the yellow Mercedes, that is the Roma Racing team, and they are leading the championship at the moment from Solaris Motorsport and Francesco Cini with the Chevrolet Camaro. Audi Sport Italia in third place. Roma Racing on 76, Solaris on 67, and Audi Sport Italia on 50, with Team Dynamic in fourth place for the BMWs. That's terrible, but it is just results from the first race of the season, which was the very quick Temple of Speed at Monza. And Team Dynamic on 42 points. Carl Racing, though, 24, and 24 points for the vaunted Carl Racing team is not what they want. And they would have expected to come away from Monza with a lot more points than that. They haven't done. It's a fairly long circuit now that they've improved it from the Cimini curve all the way up to Campagnano and down to Cerrate and Trincia. That is a whole new part of the track. It's extended it out so that it's 4,085 meters long, although the official sheet says it's 4,000. No, it's all right, it's 4,000. I thought they said kilometers at the moment. They didn't. 4.085 kilometers. Clockwise track. And with some very fast sections, as you saw, but also sections where the BMWs and Audis particularly shine, which is the stadium section from the Trincia. You'll just catch sight of them from the grandstands at Trincia curve, and then they go through the infield, the Semaforo, Torrentino, and then through the S's up to Roma, and that's Roma that they're coming out of at the moment. Safety car is in. So the race starts again, still under yellow flag though, but hours going on. Safety car will be coming in on this lap, so it's another lap under safety car. Just had the little flash coming up saying safety car is in, but it's not in. It's just coming up to for one more lap, and they'll bring it in again. 18 minutes and 15 seconds left in this, plus one lap. Leader Thomas Koska started off in Formula Ford in the Ford Puma Cup in 2001, Formula BMW ADAC and Austrian Formula 3 in 2002, Recaro Formula 3 Cup in 2003, another year there in 2004 with the World Series by Nissan and the Euro Formula 3000 Championship. Carried on into Formula Renault 3.5 for 2 seasons. Then he moved into touring cars in the Czech Series, racing an Audi A4 DTM. He won the 2008 Sprint Championship in that, and then the A1 team in the Czech Republic, the Team Czech Republic in the first round in 2006-7 A1 Grand Prix season at Zandvoort. 24 Hours of Le Mans in 2007, finished 14th overall in that, and his performances in the National Series, enough to be signed by Colin Collis to drive a 2-year-old Audi A4 for DTM in 2009, and ended up the season top rookie. Just been getting better and better as Tom Koska. Won the Czech Touring Car Championship 3 times, 2008, 2010, 2011. Made his way to rallying, 3rd place in the IRC Burrum Czech Rally in 2012. And last year, the Deutsche Touringwagen Masters for Futurecom BRT. So you can see there's some serious talent in Tom Koska, but this is a much bigger, much heavier car than he's used to. And his teammate David Stankeris, 34 years old, started off with Aston Martins, would you believe, in the FIA GT3 European Championships. Drove for Benaldi Motorsport in the Lamborghini Blancpain Super Trofeo Series. But he's out of this race, is Davide. So whatever he was hoping to do with his Audi, well, he's going to have to wait until race 2. And I don't know, depends on the damage to Max Magelli's BMW, whether he's going to be able to make race 2. I hope the man himself is okay. That was one big double rollover, and hope he's not shaken up too much. Car's very, very safe. Full roll cage, all the safety features that you'd expect in something this big, but these are big and heavy cars, and when they go for a long, long way. Francesco Cini, he's put in so much work with the team over the off-season. He's determined, absolutely determined to make an impact this year. Started off in 2008 in the Radical European Masters Series, the SR8 LM. Then fifth in Superstars 2012. Was in last year. Now we're underway and racing again. Tom Koska already starting to make a break, but Cini, well, he's got a lot of power in that Chevrolet Lumina, and poor old Nicola Baldan's being muscled aside by one of the BMWs. I think that's Maurizio Capetti who's gone past him. But remind you that this is a restricted. The power of the Mercedes makes it past Capetti once again into third place goes. No, into fourth place goes Baldan, but he's got Mercatali in front of him. That's Nicola Baldan. He's very quick as well, but Tom Koska determined to make as much hay as he can on the faster part of the track before he gets into the tricky little infield section. Francesco Cini still being dropped behind him. Diego Romanini having a go at Maurizio Capetti there, not being able to do anything about it. These BMWs are very, very nimble around here, and Francesco Cini is going to have to watch out, because right behind him is Mercatali in the number 4 dynamic BMW. You're looking at the number 54, which is Diego Romanini, and he's in 6th place currently on the leaderboard. Mercatali, whoa! Well, he saw that behind him was Nicola Baldan, and Baldan pushing hard. Mercatali just a little bit wide on the infield section, and there's Amano Dionisio. Now it's about time for the Audis, for Amano to try to have a go past these BMWs and section. Thomas Koska well away at the front. Oh, big lock up there from Romanini, and he's gone wide at Roma. That will certainly give a chance for Amano Dionisio to have a go at him. Hasn't been able to do it, and he won't be able to do it in a straight line. Down to Curvone. But Amano's having a go, and he's been left behind by the Mercedes. And that was the big lock-up that Romanini made, and that meant he was going to go wide at the Roma curve, and a chance for if he was close enough. But look at this. Francesco Cini isn't yet being dropped by Tom Koska. He's staying in touch with him. Tom Koska fastest on the split this time, and Francesco Cini has got a faster, even faster first split. So that first section, very good for the Chevrolet Camaro. This is Mercatali. Mercatali's lost out to Baldan on the straight, and he'll try and come back on the twisty part of the sections, but not this time. So Mercatali now into 3rd place, into 4th place as Baldan has gone past him. So every time they go across the stripe, you'll see the positions, but the positions can change, especially if you've got the BMWs and the Mercedes racing together, because the Mercedes torque and power pushes it past them on that big long straight up to the start and finish line. Tom Koska having a look at his lap times. Fastest lap 142.112, and not as fast as his qualifying times into the 141s on qualifying, but Francesco Cini fastest on the 2nd split as well, and he's pushing hard, but his times 0.8 of a second down from Tom Koska on the last lap. Let's see if he can keep in touch with him. Tom is running away at the moment with this. Nicola Baldan in 3rd place. And then Mercatali, Capetti, Diego Romanini, Amano Dionisio up to 7th place. So he hasn't been able to get past Romanini just yet. As Nicola Baldan in the Roma Racing Mercedes. This one's so quick at Monza last time around, but under Baldan's hands on a definitely unfavoured circuit. He's losing out to Francesco Cini, and Cini still within sight of Tom Koska. Koska's last lap 141.6, but Cini 142.7, so 1 second down on that. The camera foreshortening the angle, so the gap really opening up between 1st and 2nd place here. I wouldn't expect Tom Koska to make a mistake around here. 4-wheel drive Audis, and the 4-wheel drive, especially coming out of the tight little turns on the infield section through Semaforo and Torrentino, the tightest little hairpin on the track. That's where the Audi shine. They're not there at the moment. They're just coming down through Curvone and into Chimini. Down from the Semaforo curve into Torrentino, a tight little hairpin. It's almost a stop-start hairpin. Up through the S's they go, and look at this. Emmanuel Dionisio is using all of the four-wheel drive expertise he's got to try and do something about getting past Romagnini in front of him. Through the S's now into Roma, and he hasn't done it by now, and he's going to lose out on the straight as Romagnini. Sorry, Mercatale, Romagnini, sorry, it is Romagnini, puts his foot down, and the Mercedes runs away from Dionisio. Just under 10 minutes of this race left to go, plus one extra lap. And Manu, whoa, hit the stripe there and almost went sideways, but four-wheel drive means that you just keep the hammer down as you come out of that. The car won't swap ends because you're driving on all four wheels. Tom Koska still opening up, he's controlling this, so he's eased off a little bit. Last lap, 1 minute 42.3, but 42.7 means he's still got 0.4 of a second. Opened more on Francesco Cini in second place, Nicola Baldan in third place, then Mercatale in fourth, Maurizio Capetti in fifth place. Ended that battle between Romagnini in sixth and Emmanuel Dionisio in seventh place. Davide Stancaris, which escaped my notice, is still racing, so was able to get out of the sand and is still in the hunt for this, but he's quite a way down. He's 5 seconds behind Emmanuel Dionisio, still on the track. Then behind him is Baccarelli, Ascani, and Domiziano Giacon. Final car out there, probably to be lapped pretty soon, because his last lap was 1:54, which is 12 seconds slower than Tom Koska. That's Tom Koska, who you're seeing now across the stripe once again, having a look at a replay from Tom through Torrentino. Pinpoint accuracy, hitting the apex and coming out of there, and still the split now, nearly 4 seconds in front of Francesco Cini. It's a point scoring exercise here. Francesco Cini has got a good handling car and needs to take points away from all the Mercedes, so that Mercedes don't threaten him at the faster tracks. And on this track, indeed, he's doing very well to hold his own with the faster, or the quicker, not the faster, the quicker Audis on this track. Nicola Baldan, he's now 8 seconds down on the leader. He's nearly 4 seconds down on second place from Francesco Cini. So he's still needing to score points and keep within the hunt. It's the next round we go to Mugello just in 2 weeks' time. And Mugello will be a little bit more in favour of these high-power, high-torque cars. Not so twisty as this tight little Vallelunga track. But Koska's got this one under control. Francesco Cini is just getting better and better, actually, because his sector times are pretty good. His first sector on that last lap, lap 6, was his fastest sector, and the second sector was the fastest overall. So who's already gone into the pits? Did we see somebody go into the pits while I was looking at the timing board? Just had the camera looking on the pits. And here comes Cini across the line. So it's Thomas Koska. I think it's Koska who's just gone into the pits for some strange reason. Must have had a problem with the car. So it was unusual because the camera was focused on Cini as we're coming out of Roma Curve. Cini now in the lead. Koska's had a problem, pulled into pit lane. Didn't see what that was. I was just going down through the running order. It always happens when you look at a different screen on the running order that something happens on the track. Francesco Cini leading this race. Thomas Koska with all sorts of problems into the pits. Now that is unusual. I thought he'd be controlling the race from the front. Thomas Koska, who had an assured race victory here with 6 minutes to go, has had to pull into the pits. Francesco Cini now leads the race. Nicola Baldan in second. Mercatale, the number 4 car, is in third place. This is unbelievable. Mercatali, the first of the BMWs. Number 4, there's number 19 you're looking at, which is Maurizio Capetti in 4th place. And he's well within touch of Mercatali, so he could have a thrust at this towards the end of the race if he could get close enough. These two BMWs having a little bit of a twitch as Capetti tries to put on the power as early as possible. Into the tight little hairpin, they go. Up through the S's. Cini is in the lead of this race by 4.1 seconds over Nicola Baldan, which is really a shock. He's out, it's already been posted. Tom Koska is out, he's gone into the pit lane. Oh, he's out of the pit lane. That's what I mean, he's out back on the track. So he's in 7th place. Here's Tom Koska at the moment, but that's no good for him whatsoever. And this battle's still going on between Hermano Dionisio and Diego Romagnini for 5th place. So no Chevrolet Lumina, sorry, no Lexus out on the track, because we haven't seen Lavaggio at all in this race. One of the loudest cars out there wasn't able to make the start, which is seriously unfortunate for Lexus. I did expect it to at least have a race. But look at this battle on between Dionisio and Romagnini. Dionisio's definitely not giving up. Very much a gentleman racer, a very big character in the series. Davide Stancaris, his teammate, right behind him. Stancaris, to remind you, off with Max Mugelli at the start. Stancaris is now starting to threaten Hermano, and well, the number 3 car needs to close up and do something about Romagnini in front of him. Romagnini on the fast part of the track, as you would expect, stretching his legs. Stancaris now on Dionisio. Dionisio with the, and he's moved aside as Dionisio let Davide Stancaris past. He knows that Stancaris and part of the Audi Sport Italia team are the ones that are in this for the points. There's Tom Koska. Now Tom Koska, he's let Koska through as well. So good, actually very good driving from the gentleman, which is Hermano Dionisio. He's let both of his teammates through. They're the ones who can challenge quicker and earlier on Diego Romagnini. So whatever was the problem with Tom Koska, he's back out on the track. That was very quick in and out of the pit lane, but it's lost him a whole shed load of points, and Dionisio moves down the rankings to 8th place. Koska in 7th, Davide Stancaris in 6th. But Stancaris and Koska still racing each other. They're part of the same team. Oh, look at this, Stancaris one part of the car which he's still unsure about, as booting it out of the corners, being able to trust on his brakes and outbrake the Mercedes in a straight line. Let's see what he can do down here. Both the BMWs in front of him, Capetti and Mercatali. I'll remind you that Francesco Cini still leading this race with just under 2.5 minutes left to go, plus one more lap. Francesco Cini, look at the drama that we've had already. Stancaris and Max Mugelli coming together at the start. Koska coming into the pits. And Francesco Cini re-inheriting the lead as they still battle down here. Stancaris trying around the outside. He'll know that he can actually get the grip from that. And now, still on the outside, will try up the inside. And that's already done. He'll know he can do that. He's not going to run wide. And Romagnini can do nothing about that one. David Stancaris passed already down by his teammate behind him. Dionisio's let him pass. But Tom Koska really does need to do something about Romagnini in front of him, and quickly indeed, because Hermano Dionisio, the gentleman, to let him past. But if he's the machine, Koska's finally got past and uses the brakes and hand up to at least retain his position. Sometimes this new part of the track catches me out. They're going up through Campagnano at the moment and into Tolentino. It's a big, heavy car, 6.2 litres though, and it's quick, and it's got the torque, and it's got the power, and it's set up. Francesco Cini 4.5 seconds in the lead. Nicola Baldan can do nothing about it. Jack on moves over, the lights flash. So that says it's the final lap of the race. I would have thought that this was the penultimate, but it is the final lap of the race, which is really strange. The time's gone so quickly. Francesco Cini, and he will have loved this. We wouldn't have liked to see Thomas Koska out. You do like to see an honest race, but he's already sticking his hand out the window. Typical Italian fashion. But really still needs to concentrate. I know he's 4.7 seconds in front of Nicola Baldan, but keep the concentration up, Francesco. And Cini tools around with the Camaro. All the work that he's put into this car, all the practice that he's done at Vallelunga has paid off in race one on his final lap. Just about to come down into that tight little Torrentino hairpin. It's a parade lap really for Francesco Cini. Changing exhaust system at Monza. The exhausts were coming out the side and he was told off for being so loud. But this time the exhaust comes out the back. It's a little bit quieter, but it's still a thundering Camaro out of the final Roma curve and across the line. Lights flash as Francesco Cini takes victory in race one here at Vallelunga, and well, it was tight across the line. Nicola Baldan in second place, Mercatali in third, competitive teammate in fourth place, Davide Stankeris in fifth place, Ed Romanini and Dionisio Tom Koska. Well, on that final lap, Koska again suffering problems, which meant that Dionisio, his teammate, went past him at the end. Tom Koska coming across the line in eighth place. One wonders what's been going on with the Audi RS5 into the pits after a 4-second lead, nearly a 5-second lead on Francesco Cini, with Koska having to come into the pits, Cini inheriting the lead. Koska able to get out again, but still encountering problems. Still those scoring points in this, but Ermanno Dionisio, brilliant 7th place for Ermanno. Hasn't raced for quite a while, but brought his Audi RS5 to Vallelunga to pad out the Audi RS5, the Audi Sport Italia team. A replay of Francesco Cini coming through Roma, the banked Roma curve. Then it falls away as you come on the outside of that curve, and it's easy enough to lose the back of these rear-wheel drive cars. But Francesco Cini, well, he's thinking that Christmas has come very, very early with Tom Koska out. That means an outstanding 24 points, plus the extra one for starting the race. Fastest lap will still be Tom Koska, though. He gets an extra point for that, and his extra point for pole position. But Francesco Cini will be over the moon with a win, so will the team. Very friendly paddock, and Laura Cini in the team looking after everybody. And she'll be jumping up and down. Put a lot of work, and if you have a look at the car, there's a tribute to Ayrton Senna on both wings of that car. So there it is officially, the result. Francesco Cini in the Chevrolet Camaro, Nicola Baldan for Mercedes in second place, and Mercatali, the two BMWs, pulling some points here where they should have pulled points. It is a favoured track for them, but without their fastest driver out on almost the first corner, they only take third and fourth places. And Davide Stankeris, after that crash, recovering to fifth place. Brilliant result, great drive for him. Diego Romagnini in sixth place, Ermanno Dionisio taking seventh, and Baccarelli in eighth. Francesco Ascani, in fact, in ninth place. Not the top gentleman driver, because I think Baccarelli will be taking that one. And Tom Koska in 10th place, so at least points for Tom Koska. And Ringhio wins, and there's his mascot of the skull on top of the car already. I told you they'd be jumping for joy. And there's Laura City also jumping up and down beside him. And there's his dad. A good hug from Dad as well.
Adesso vieni davanti alla macchina.
And the other drivers giving him congratulations. Gianni Gianducci, who wasn't in, Laura City alongside them as well. And thank you to the car, says Ringhio. You couldn't get more enthusiastic than that, could you?
Bella Francesco, bella Francesco.
Nico Calderola from the Roma Racing team, team manager from Roma Racing, also giving him congratulations. All the hard work, all the stress and strain of trying to make that Camaro into a race winner. Once again, it's worked. Nico Baldan in second place, giving his congratulations as well. And Mercatali.
Max, andiamo? No, già ci stanno.
And now the discussion of the race, as you always do. You speak to everybody else afterwards, and look, this is what we did, and I'm trying to get through there. Brilliant. Nicola Mercatali, the third on the podium. As we get a little bit of picture breakup. Sorry about this. Call them all up to the podium now. Ermanno Dionisio gets up onto the podium as well. He's classed as a gentleman driver. So I think it's Dionisio who will actually be the winner of the Gentleman Series. Here's the replay. Well, from the start, it was Tom Koska in pole position with alongside of his teammate Davide Stankeris. And behind them, well, Max Mugelli was squeezed out and hit Davide Stankeris, but was sideways on, and the car doing a double tumble into the gravel. And we're still waiting to see what's happened to Max Mugelli, just hoping he'll be okay with that. That gave Tom Koska a bit of a head start in this. And but coming out of Roma, coming out of what the S's, actually having to pull into pit lane, so a bit of a problem for him. He managed to get back out. It was Francesco Cini who inherited the lead, and Tom Koska back again, and teammate Ermanno Dionisio letting him go past. Koska moving his way up through the field, but unfortunately whatever gremlins he had hit him again, and he was passed by everybody else. Francesco Cini 4 seconds in the lead from Nicola Baldan, with Mercatali taking third place, BMW in third and fourth place, and Tom Koska dropping all the way down the order to finish in 10th, which was really unfortunate for him. But Cini taking the victory in race 1 here at Vallelunga. Ermanno Dionisio battling on a little bit further on to take the Gentleman's Trophy, but this was the man who's put in all the work off season and on, and taking his first victory here at Vallelunga in race 1. So still a little bit out of breath after the first race, Nicola Mercatali. Mercatali, first one up onto the podium. Apologies for the picture breakup that we're having here. Nicola Baldan in second place, and Francesco Cini on top of the podium, at a place that he was honestly not thinking that he'll get it. Koska, his problems, put Cini into the lead, and be there to make it, and well, make it he did. It's a big relief to Francesco Cini. And receiving his cup for third place, Niccolo Mercatali. Baldan gets a slightly bigger one. And beautiful trophies here at Vallelunga. Francesco Cini. It's not the cup so much as knowing that everything that you've done, all the work that you've put in, all the work that the team's put in has paid off. And that victory for the Camaro, he put so much faith in that. And the team trophy going to Solaris Motorsport. And the trophy for the top gentleman driver, Ermanno Dionisio. He wasn't expecting that, I will admit. He wasn't expecting that. He came out and even led his teammates through, but managed to beat all the rest of the gentleman drivers. That's drivers over a certain age. And take the victory here. A huge presence in the paddock. And a real character is Ermanno. Was one of the main sponsors for Audi Sport Italia for a season or two with his Hot Mobile company. They do special radio systems for race cars, used all around the world, and not done via radio. It's all done by sim systems. Very good as well. So while you're racing, you talk directly to some engineer or something in Australia, it could be, if you want. Good system he's got there. And all the photographers taking their pictures. So having a look at what happened. Number 4, Niccolo Mercatali. The BMW's particularly favoured at this track, but Mercatali wasn't expected to be the top BMW here. That was Max Mugelli. Unfortunately, Max Mugelli saw that accident, and I'm going to nip down into the paddock to find out what's happened to him. Nicola Baldan, the RRT, Roma Racing Team Mercedes, formerly raced by Eddie Cheever at Monza, now Nicola Baldan, and this is a championship winner from last year. In the minis, I think he was the winner of the championship, so he's come into this series intending not to just circulate in 4th and 5th place, but really challenge throughout the series for the wins. But your winner, Francesco Cini, the amount of work that they've been put into the car, have been shown lots of little things all the time. Every time I go into the pit lane, into Francesco Cini's pit box, there's always something new, and wonderful to see the tribute to Ayrton Senna on both wings of that car as well. So Francesco Cini, let's see what happens in race 2. He's got his victory, the one that he really wanted here at Vallelunga. And there it is, it's all official. Nicola Baldan in second, Nicolo Mercatali in third, then Capetti, Davide Stancaris, a good recovery to 5th place after that accident on the very first Curvone, Curve 1, with Max Mugelli. Then Romagnini, Emiliano Dionisio leads, Baccarelli and Ascani, the other two gentlemen drivers, for the Gentleman's Trophy for race 1. So let's see what happens in race 2. Will they fix Thomas Koska's car? Will Max Mugelli be able to get back onto the race? We'll see you for race 2.